Hey, what's going on? So, there's a fresh Counter-Strike 2 update that just dropped on March 19th, 2026. The biggest change in this update is the rework to the reloading system, and this is something that a lot of players are going to notice immediately. Previously, when you reloaded in CS2, any leftover ammo in your magazine would essentially just merge back into your reserve ammo pool, meaning you weren't really punished for reloading early. Now, that's completely different. With this update, if you reload before emptying your magazine, whatever bullets were left in that mag are gone, completely discarded. This makes reloading a much more deliberate decision, and it adds a layer of realism and strategy that wasn't there before. Think about how this changes your gameplay. If you're in a tense situation and you've got, say, 8 bullets left in your rifle, reloading out of habit could now actually put you at a disadvantage later because you're sacrificing those bullets entirely. This encourages players to be more mindful and to manage their ammo more carefully, instead of just hitting reload whenever there's a pause. It's a small mechanic on paper, but in clutch scenarios, it could absolutely make the difference between winning and losing a round. Alongside that, the way ammo is displayed has also been updated, and this ties directly into that new system. Reserve ammo is no longer just shown as a simple number. Instead, it's now displayed in a way that reflects the weapon type. So you'll see magazines for rifles, shells for shotguns, and bullets for other weapons. This makes the ammo system feel more grounded and easier to understand at a glance, especially for newer players who might not have been fully aware of how their ammo was structured before. On top of that, there's now a visual indicator showing your current weapon's fill level right below the ammo count. This is actually a really nice quality of life addition because it gives you a clearer picture of how full your magazine is without having to mentally calculate anything. In fast-paced situations, that kind of clarity can really help you make quicker decisions, whether it's committing to a fight or backing off to reload. They've also adjusted the reserve magazine counts for different weapons, which works hand in hand with the new reload system. Since leftover ammo is now discarded, the total amount of ammo you carry has been balanced to make sure things still feel fair. This means some weapons might feel slightly different in terms of how long you can stay in action before running dry, and it's something players will likely adapt to over time as they get used to the new system. Another interesting addition in this update is the introduction of limited map guides for competitive and retake modes. This is clearly aimed at helping players, especially those who are still learning maps or trying to improve their positioning. These guides appear during the first 5 rounds of each half and can include up to 30 nodes, giving you visual cues or suggestions on how to approach certain areas. What's nice about this is that it doesn't overwhelm the entire match. It's limited to the early rounds, which is when players are usually trying to get a feel for the game anyway. After that, it steps back and lets you rely on your own knowledge and experience. It's a smart way to introduce guidance without making the game feel too handholdy. There are also new server settings related to these map guides. One of them controls access levels by allowing servers to either disable annotations completely, allow limited viewing, or enable full access and editing. This is especially useful for custom servers or community setups where people might want to create their own strategies or teaching tools. Another setting controls how many rounds per half these guides can appear in, with a default of 5 rounds, but the option to make it unlimited if needed. To go along with that, basic starter guides have been added for all active duty maps. So, no matter which map you're playing, there's now some level of built-in guidance available. Again, this is clearly targeted at newer players or those trying to refine their understanding of map flow, callouts, and positioning. Finally, there's a really nice improvement for workshop maps and practice sessions. Players can now join their friends directly in practice or workshop maps through the Friends menu, as long as the open party setting is enabled. This might not sound like a huge deal, but it actually removes a lot of friction when trying to play custom content with friends. Before, getting everyone into the same workshop map could be a bit clunky, but now it's much smoother and more accessible. Overall, this update is less about adding new content and more about refining the core experience. The reload system change alone has the potential to shift how people think about ammo management, while the new UI elements make that system easier to understand and use. The map guides and workshop improvements show that there's also a focus on accessibility and making the game more welcoming for players at different skill levels. So, even though this isn't one of those massive updates that completely changes the game overnight, it's definitely one that will have a lasting impact once players start adapting to these changes.